You are listening to live coverage of the 109th National Day celebrations of the Republic of China, brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.
Welcome to live coverage of the Republic of China's National Day celebrations here at Radio Taiwan International. I am Natalie So.
And I'm Leslie Liao. Thank you for joining us. The national anthem is about to be underway starting at 10 o'clock precisely.
Now, this year, the national anthem is being led by Taiwan's epidemic prevention team to honor and thank them for all that they have done for our country. And it is being sung by the sing-song chorus of Taipei Medical University.
That's right. They've selected about 20 health officials who have been vital in containing the COVID-19 pandemic in Taiwan. There are about less than 550 cases confirmed in Taiwan so far. And most of the ones that are coming in, about one or two a day, are imported.
And the theme of this year's celebrations is Proud of Taiwan. So Taiwan is very proud of how the government and the people have come together to fight the epidemic and of a lot of other achievements this year. And we'll be talking more about that and hearing more about that from our president, Tsai Ing-wen, who will be giving a speech during this hour. We will be with you for a full hour, translating the speeches on the spot, and also letting you know what's going on at the celebrations and the parade.
That was the national anthem. Now they will salute the flag, bowing 3 times.
And we would like to welcome our viewers on our RTI Facebook pages to leave a comment throughout the show. We'll be taking a look at our comments and seeing what you have to say. Also, feel free to email us at rti@rti.org.tw. Let us know what you think of our live coverage. Also, listeners in Southeast Asia can also tune in via 15665 kilohertz from 0200 to 0300 UTC. So they're all now bowing to the flag of the Republic of China. This is the 109th anniversary of the National Day celebrations of the Republic of China. And we see there in front of the presidential office building. And we'll be hearing from 3 speakers today. The legislature president, Yo Shi-kun.
Yo Shi-kun's speech is about to get underway, so we'll bring you some interpretation of that. Honorable guests, international representatives, overseas Taiwanese, and our pandemic heroes, all citizens of Taiwan, everybody good day. And that was a greeting in Taiwanese and Aborigines language. Today is the 109th celebration of the Republic of China. It's been an honor to be the head of the planning committee for National Day celebration. I'd like to thank everybody for donating their time to take the time to participate in today's ceremony. Everybody, I hope your long weekend is going well. This year, the COVID-19 pandemic has threatened the world. Many countries are suffering. Many countries have over 1 million confirmed cases. It's very regrettable and very sad. However, Taiwan has performed very well in this regard. We have been very effective in controlling the pandemic, and we've also helped other countries. Internationally, everybody's realizing that Taiwan can help. that we have become an example of great prevention. I would like to thank our very skilled medical team and our pandemic heroes. It's because of Taiwanese people's hard work that we're able to keep a safe country. And not only that, but we can also contribute to the world. Because of you, we are able to celebrate our National Day today in such a big ceremony. Once again, our pandemic heroes, thank you very much.
We want to thank you very much for all that you've done, our pandemic heroes. That was a big applause for all the people who've been working on the front lines. And thank you, all of you who are sitting here and all of these heroes. Thank you for your support and your hard work. The year 2020 has been a very big change for the world. But we have been able to overcome different challenges and move forward and be able to safeguard our democratic systems. And we are a society ruled by law. So because of our democracy, we have been able to be a model for how to contain the pandemic. And we have been able to produce a new economic performance. And because of our innovation and dynamic economy, we've been able to overcome different challenges in the economy. So Taiwan will be able to overcome future challenges. So democratic Taiwan is enabling us to move forward with confidence. Now, we need to also thank a lot of those before us who have sacrificed for us. Many of
"99 years after the sacrifice of our national heroes, Taiwan is now connecting with the international community. Taiwan not only has been given attention for its prevention measures, but also its technological innovation. I can feel it. Taiwan's spirit of people. Everybody is working towards a love for this country. Taiwan continuously is declassifying relevant files. We must be held accountable for our past, no matter what it is. That is the true color of democracy. Transparency is the color of democracy. Transitional justice is what we need in order to protect our valuable society. That way, we can become a much better, hardworking country, and we can unify. In the 1990s, President Li Denghui led a democratic revolution. He implemented many policies and overhauled the National Assembly. He made many vital steps in turning Taiwan into a beacon of democracy and freedom. We're also working toward constitutional reform, forming a committee to do so. We're also making vital reform like changing the voting age to 18 years old. The legislative yuan which I lead will also make many other changes. Referendums will require 9.7 million votes in order to be effective. We will introduce more debates and encourage dialogue for any changes that we make within the country, especially with regards to constitutional reform. Taiwanese people have come a long way to become the democratic society is today. As a democracy, we must push back against Chinese pressure. With our brothers and sisters from Xinjiang and Mongolia, we must stand strong for them as well. In the face of continued military pressure, Taiwan refuses to falter. We will stand tall. We will also make changes with regards to our diplomacy. We will find ways to work with other countries and become part of the international community.
The Hong Kong National Security Law has showed the world how China suppresses universal values and human rights. So Taiwan is, a fortress of democracy in the Chinese-speaking world. So as the world is continually changing this year, we need to maintain cross-strait peace and security, and to promote cross-strait exchanges and talks, and also to recognize the existence of Taiwan and the Republic of China. All of the people of Taiwan should not be partisan. We should work together and move confidently forward into the future, and to actively participate in international affairs and give Taiwan a new place in this world. This year, the U.S. President signed in the Taipei Travel Act, and has also promised a big arms package to Taiwan, including many F-16Vs. And we also saw the Czech Senate President visiting Taiwan. And he was the first to speak in Taiwan's parliament, the first government official from a country that is not a formal diplomatic ally. We see that other countries are standing with Taiwan. Even as we are being isolated internationally, but the international community has been even more friendly to Taiwan, has embraced Taiwan and our democratic values. So during this difficult time, we have shined brilliantly on the international stage. With the leadership of President Tsai Ing-wen, we are proud and confident of Taiwan. She has superseded partisan politics and not given in to fear. And as the president of the legislature, I'm really happy that many people say it is great to be Taiwanese. This makes me very proud. Thank you, all of us, for participating in the celebration of the Republic of China on Taiwan. May Taiwan live forever, and may you all enjoy good health, and may your dreams come true. Thank you very much. Well, that was a very nice speech highlighting, how great it is to be Taiwanese.
That was a doozy of a speech, actually. He
It's-
touched upon many topics.
That's right.
Next up now we have the representative of the overseas Taiwanese community here to make a speech.
Yes, he's the head of the Taiwanese Compatriots Association in Houston. He's also a co-founder of the Global Taiwan Institute. She donated many face masks to medical workers in the U.S. On behalf of Taiwan to demonstrate that Taiwan can help.
Over 1,500 overseas Taiwanese are in attendance at this celebration right now, and all of them had to undergo 14-day quarantine.
That's amazing, the patriotism they have, right?
Oh, yeah.
To come back.
To be locked in a hotel room for 14 days just to come
participate.
To the ceremony.
But Taiwan is a good place to be at this time.
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
a wonderful
look at
place to be. So right now, Legislator Speaker Yoshi Kwon, he's just introducing Song Mei-li, and that's basically what we were talking about earlier. She's been very helpful towards the United States, and he's saying she's embodied that Taiwan can help spirit, which is the campaign Taiwan's been kind of doing in recent years to show that we are actually a helpful and powerful force for good. So let's take a look at her speech.
Great. Taiwan has especially been helpful during the pandemic, and we've been very happy to send masks around the world and all kinds of humanitarian aid. President Tsai, Vice President Lai, Legislative President Yoshi Kwon, and my fellow compatriots from all over the world, good morning. Hello. Today is the 109th National Day of the Republic of China. We overseas compatriots are delighted to share in this joyous moment, and I'm honored to represent our global community in extending our best wishes. First, I'd like to wish, under President Tsai's leadership, the government is well prepared to keep COVID-19 at bay with the assistance of the central and local governments. The government is both The government has also been giving stimulus packages to businesses. And Taiwan has become the envy of the world at this time.
The government has continued to invest in 6 major strategic industries. Putting an emphasis and keeping the most important industry supply chains in Taiwan, while at the same time boosting other potential markets. That has helped make our industries even more competitive on the international stage. Taiwan has a wealth of ability when it comes to creating face masks and developing test kits and a vaccine. This has positioned Taiwan as key to solving the global pandemic.
On the diplomatic front, the government has done an incredible job and has received international support. U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services Alex Azar visited Taiwan in August. Then in September, State Department Undersecretary Keith Kroc became the highest-ranking U.S. official to visit Taiwan since 1979. That demonstrated Washington's firm support for Taiwan and the close relationship between the two countries. Meanwhile, Czech Senate President Milos Vystrčil led a delegation visiting Taiwan in September, further strengthening the relationship between the two countries and enabling the world to see Taiwan's emphasis on freedom and human rights. China's national security law for Hong Kong, which went into effect in July, has deeply hurt the freedom and human rights of the people of Hong Kong. It also shows that one country, two systems is not feasible. Democracy and authoritarianism cannot coexist. in the same country. We firmly support the government's existing policy for maintaining cross-strait peace and security. We also affirm the government's establishment of a human rights commission to strengthen Taiwan's democracy.
The COVID-19 pandemic has had a profound impact on the world, changing the global political and economic order. It has also changed the global community's understanding of the situation in Taiwan and the region. This presents both challenges and opportunities. We want to thank the government for leading the public in working together to combat the pandemic. We believe that no matter how dire the situation is, our democracy and solidarity will enable us to overcome the challenges and enable Taiwan to stand firm amid adversity. In January, the Taiwanese people elected the 15th term president and vice president, a sign that the government led by President Tsai has been moving in the right direction. We overseas compatriots are both proud and happy, and we want to send our most heartfelt congratulations to President Tsai and Vice President Lai. The overseas compatriots are the government's staunchest supporters, and we will continue to do our best to enable the world to see and hear Taiwan. Finally, on behalf of all of our global compatriots, I would like to extend our wishes for prosperity for the Republic of China on Taiwan, an abundance of health for President Tsai, and peace and happiness for all the people of Taiwan. Go Taiwan, go Taiwan.
Go Taiwan.
Go Taiwan indeed. Proud of Taiwan.
Yes, we are. And you are watching live coverage of the Republic of China National Day celebrations coming to you from Radio Taiwan International. And do please comment and write us at rti@rti.org.tw. We would love to hear from you.
We've listened to speeches from the legislative speaker and the overseas representative of the Taiwanese overseas community. Now, the legislative speaker, who is also head of the National Day Preparatory Committee, will be asking the president to come forward to give her address, which we will also be translating. The address is expected to go 25 minutes.
Oh, dear. So bear with us, and we'll do our very best. It's a simultaneous,
we'll do what we can.
Extemporaneous translation.
But right now, if you look at your screen, they're doing a recap of all of the prevention measures Taiwan has introduced to contain COVID-19.
Oh, yes.
As we mentioned, COVID-19 has been quite well contained in Taiwan.
Right. We've done a lot of great things. For one, we started producing face masks. We started with only about a production of 2 million per day, and then they increased the production lines to over 90, and now it's about 20 million a day. So every single person can get a face mask with their health card, and they're available in many places, and that is how people feel secure.
The rationing system, right? When it first came out, I believe they rationed the masks like that, like right off the bat.
Yes, it was digitalized. It was coordinated with our national health cards. So all you have to do is go to a pharmacy, and you can get your mask at a very cheap price.
Yeah, they price controlled the
like
masks.
$5 NT,
That's right.
Which is like 20 US cents. Or less. So that was one thing they did very well. Also, contact tracing. Everyone who was in contact with a confirmed case had to stay in home quarantine. So that led to the quarantine of about 250,000 people. But that meant we didn't have to go under a lockdown. So that also was very effective in containing the virus, because some people discovered that they had the virus during quarantine.
Right. And also, the government did a great job, because one confirmed case, they would follow up with maybe 30, 40 people.
That's right.
To make sure that they were in isolation, in quarantine, and anybody who was a potential risk was monitored very closely.
I mean, we only have 55 domestic cases out of 23 million people in Taiwan. So I think they were able to control the domestic spread very well. And all those coming into Taiwan need to undergo a 14-day quarantine.
That's right. And not just that, but they also have the quarantine hotel system, which was also in place. But right now they are just thanking the pandemic, what we call the pandemic heroes, but it's our health officials who really played a vital role in containing the COVID-19 pandemic. I believe their formal name is the Central Epidemic Command Center.
That's right. And every day they were giving a daily report. Until recently, it's been weekly to let everybody know what's going on. Oh, so the president is about to come in.
Here comes the president.
Yes, we look forward to her speech.
They're giving the armed forces salute. Everybody's standing up.
So Taiwan has been under some pressure lately because China has been sending a lot of warplanes into Taiwan's airspace. So I think she will be talking about Taiwan's defense,
Sure.
cross-strait relations, and of course highlighting Taiwan's success in controlling the pandemic, and also economically, Taiwan has seen much success. So we do look forward to seeing what she has to say about these issues. Taiwan is actually one of the few countries in the world to have a positive economic growth rate at this time.
Actually, yeah, it was the shortest, the smallest economic impact. Anyway, I'll begin, I believe, with the Thai speech,
Okay.
if you would like. The theme this year is supposed to be, of her speech, is Taiwan Together, Confidence Forward. Divided into 4 parts, she's expected to talk about prevention, new economic strategy, defense capabilities, and diplomacy.
现场各位贵宾，
Good morning,
电视
everybody.
机前还有
To
网
all
络
our
上的
honorable
全体
guests, everybody
国人
watching
同胞
online and in front of the TV,
大家早安。
all of the citizens,
大家好。
everybody, good morning, good day.
今天是中华民国109年的国庆
Today
日。
is the 109th National Day of the Republic of China. This year,
庆典
because
的
of the
规模
pandemic,
缩小了，
the magnitude of the celebration has been
无论身
made
在何
smaller.
处，
But
都发自
the spirit of
内心
Taiwanese people are all, this is still stronger than ever.
度过了重重挑战的一
The
年。
Republic of China has hurdled many challenges.
2020这一年，
2020
在新型冠状病毒威胁下，无论是台湾
has had its struggles under the shadow of the COVID-19 pandemic.
快浪的一年，
It's
但
been
是
rocky to say the least. But because of these challenges and these new crises,
都会看到台湾
the international community has been able to see Taiwan in a different light. They can see our capability and they can see our specialties. We did not lock down, we
也是
did not
世界
close
上
schools,
少数还能够在管制措施下
and it's one of the few countries in the world that
办
can
大型
play professional
活动的
baseball
国家，
and as well as hold large-scale
更
events.
展现了傲人的国力，将防疫物资送到世界。
Not just that, but we are also assisting other countries that are having a hard time by sending them supplies and medical expertise.
300篇国际媒体报道
There have been over 3,300
台湾的防疫表现。
articles in the news that have talked about Taiwan's exemplary actions with regards to this pandemic.
都更加的亮眼。
Taiwan, more than ever, has been shining on the international community.
台湾人民的团结，
This is thanks to the teamwork and the unity of the Taiwanese
辛
people.
苦的医护和检疫人员，
And
我们也要感谢
the hardest working medical workers and health officials, we must give them our thanks.
科技业
Those working
APP
in medical supply factories and those developing technologies and smart technologies to help us keep track of this pandemic,
井然有序的配合。
as well as the people who have been so cooperative during this time with prevention measures. We thank you. We also see that the Taiwanese people are willing
旅行业者
to
提供防疫
to isolate and quarantine themselves.
提供防疫车队，餐厅、娱乐
Enterprises are donating goods and services, as well as restaurants donating foods.
上下一心，我们守住了疫情的
Because of everybody's hard work and everybody's selfless contribution, we have contained COVID-19. We have become a great example of what Taiwan is capable of in the world.
美国的阿扎尔部长
Alex Azar came to Taiwan, and Keith Kroc.
相继来访，表达他们对台湾的敬意的时候，
Their
相
visits
信许许多多的
prove
都感
that Taiwan is worthy of attention. We are capable of
经历疫
greatness.
情的挑战，我们证明了国家在逆境中
By overcoming this pandemic,
建立
we
了
show the resilience of the Taiwanese
更
people.
重要的是，我们团结了。
The most important thing is we have unified and overcome what's going on.
所以这一年确实是一个辛苦
This year has been a difficult and tough year,
丰收的一年。
but it is a year with great benefit. We have come together and shown what we are capable of. Thanks to our pandemic heroes who have been invited to sing the national anthem, many of them have familiar stories to share. For example, the nurses who have shown the stress marks of the masks that they have worn after days and hours of working the pandemic and prevention. There have been also many other unsung heroes during this time. I cannot go through them all, but I will remind you that there are so many of them. Please let's give them a round of applause for these unsung pandemic heroes, our health officials, our medical workers, and everybody who has played a role in containing the pandemic.
Because the pandemic was properly controlled, Taiwan became one of the few countries in the world that maintained positive economic growth. We have also prepared for economic development in the post-pandemic era, proactively planning and promoting our 6 core strategic industries. We have already planned out the step-by-step allocation of our forward-looking infrastructure development program special budget and stepped up the pace of implementation. What inspires us most is that our citizens and companies have more confidence in Taiwan's economic development. The long-term capital outflow trend has been completely reversed. We have been welcoming the largest wave of reshoring in decades by Taiwan companies with investments worth more than 1 trillion NT dollars, along with over 100 billion NT dollars in overseas funds being repatriated. Many foreign companies and well-known multinational corporations are also increasing their investments in Taiwan, and all of these are ongoing right now. We have also made substantive progress in international economic and trade cooperation. Taiwan and the United States will hold a high-level economic dialogue to identify future cooperation opportunities in the realignment of global supply chains, technological cooperation, infrastructure, and other areas. Last week, Taiwan and the United States jointly announced the signing of a framework to strengthen infrastructure, finance, and market-building cooperation. Under that agreement, we will jointly participate in infrastructure projects in the Americas and the Indo-Pacific region. The deepening of the Taiwan-U.S. economic cooperation has thus entered the action phase, the beginning of our pursuit of comprehensive breakthroughs in international economic and trade cooperation. But I want to remind everyone the global pandemic is not over yet. The complex economic and social challenges it has brought to all countries remain severe. The future holds even greater challenges waiting to be overcome. Post-pandemic global economic recovery, lifestyle changes, dramatic changes in global and regional trade, and the realignment of the global economic order will all test our economic staying power and overall adaptability. To address the greatest internal and external changes we have seen in decades, Taiwan will continue to show resilience, and the government will take the helm and lead the way forward with 3 major strategies to create the Taiwan new economy we also all aspire to. First, we will fully and comprehensively participate in supply chain reorganization. The rapid dismantling and realignment of global supply chains is now irreversible, and Taiwanese businesses around the world are moving towards segmented markets, production-based migration, and reshoring to invest in Taiwan at an ever faster pace. Our ongoing implementation of the 5+2 Innovative Industries plans, the 6 core strategic industries, and the trillion NT dollar investment program, new southbound policy, Taiwan-U.S. economic cooperation, and participation in regional economic integration are all closely related to supply chain realignment. We will link all of these related policies and programs while integrating government and private sector resources with cross-department capabilities to achieve full and comprehensive participation in the realignment process. making Taiwan an indispensable force in global supply chains.
Second, we want to make Taiwan a hub for international capital, talent, and digital technology. In the future, the critical factors in supply chain realignment will be capital, talent, and core technologies for the digital economy. We will also continue to deepen reforms and eliminate obstacles to create an environment and legal structure to attract international capital and talent. We will also actively cultivate domestic industrial talent through international exchanges, industry academia cooperation, and a bilingual nation policy. In addition, we will leverage Taiwan's strengths in ICT, semiconductors, the Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence to develop and control core technologies and accelerate digital transformation of industry and the economy. Third, we will do our utmost to balance economic and social development. The post-pandemic economy and industry run the risk of unbalanced development, while there may be also repercussions from a massive increase in capital supply. The government will therefore put greater emphasis on the reasonable distribution of resources, take care of disadvantaged affected by our economic transformation, strengthen and spur youth employment, and encourage and effectively utilize funding to bring back Taiwan's economic growth dividend for everyone to share. Of course, Taiwan's economic prospects depend on regional peace and stability. We are aware that showing weakness and making concessions will not bring peace. Adequate preparation and reliance on determination and strength of solid national defense capabilities is the only way to guarantee Taiwan's security and maintain regional peace. The guiding principles behind our current national defense strategy are to enhance national defense capabilities and lower the risk of military conflict. For some time now, harassment by air and sea from other side has raised tensions in the Taiwan Strait, but our national military has closely monitored the situation and responded promptly, achieving their defense mission. Over the past few years, whenever I've had time, I have visited the officers and enlisted personnel in our military units, from Air Force radar stations on distant mountaintops to naval fleets patrolling the seas, and from unit artillery drills in the field to the academies training our young non-commissioned officers. I do that not only to thank our military personnel, working around the clock to protect the nation, but even more to let citizens know that our military are our family and the staunchest backers of our national sovereignty, freedom, and democracy. Throughout my interactions with our men and women in uniform, many stories strengthened my confidence. I remember being in the alert room at an Air Force unit on the front lines where the pilots, always prepared for emergency service, confidently told me that the Air Force has our air defense covered. I also remember at an Army Engineer Training Center, I saw a female officer lead her fellow engineers with the kind of spirit that can carve a road through any mountain or build a bridge over any body of water. At the Navy Underwater Operations Unit, when men and women wearing heavy equipment fearlessly dove to the ocean floor to remove obstacles. This is the Republic of China military. Whether they are on the front line or in logistics, male or female, they are all children of Taiwan and committed to safeguarding our nation. In recent times, some of our brothers and sisters in uniform were injured or even lost their lives while carrying out their duties. We remember their dedication with gratitude and are proud of our military for their bravery and sense of responsibility. As Commander-in-Chief, I always have the future of our military and our military of the future in my heart. We will continue to modernize defensive combat capabilities and accelerate the upgrading of our asymmetrical capabilities to deal with military expansion and provocation from the other side of the Taiwan Strait. As we procure military hardware, we still remain dedicated to promoting our national self-defense capabilities. We have also already made substantial progress in manufacturing, advanced training aircraft, and submarines. We take a dual-track approach to strengthening our defensive capabilities. We have not only upgraded our military hardware capabilities, but even more importantly, we are focused on cultivating high-quality personnel. In addition to improving the professionalism of our volunteer officers and soldiers, we need to establish an effective reservist system to enhance the quality and capabilities of our military personnel. I'm sure that many reservists recently on active duty for training feel that the process will be streamlined. Next on the agenda will be the rapid implementation of reserve and mobilization system reforms based on the principle of integrating standing reserve forces. In order to avoid potential conflicts due to miscalculations or accidents, we will address threats to regional peace and stability by upholding our principle of neither fearing nor seeking war. The Ministry of National Defense will report on the People's Liberation Army activities when appropriate, exchange information with neighboring countries, and strengthen security partnerships. The ministry will also keep the public informed about the situation in the Taiwan Strait, solidifying overall national defense.
For some time, we have all been paying close attention to changes in regional security, from sovereignty disputes in the South and East China Seas and the China-India border conflict to developments in the Taiwan Strait, as well as the Hong Kong version of the national security law that has garnered international concern. It is clear that democracy, peace, and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific are currently facing serious challenges. Countries in this region have forged various alliances to ensure that their national security and democratic systems are not affected by external influences. This has already caused unprecedented changes to the region. We must turn this testing time into a historical opportunity. Our commitment to our sovereignty and democratic values will not change, but we will also maintain strategic flexibility and be responsive to changes. As circumstances change, advance preparation is the only way to exercise control over the future and not just drift with the current or have others decide our fate. We will play an active role in establishing new regional and international orders. We will forge alliances based on shared values and friendly ties throughout the international community and continue to enhance partnerships with like-minded and friendly nations. We will also participate more actively in regional and international multilateral cooperation and dialogues. The most important values the Republic of China stands for in the region are upholding peace and promoting economic development. We want to be an advocate for the forces of good and share our progressive and good faith values with the whole world. I'm also aware that the leader across the strait has publicly stated in a video message to the United Nations General Assembly that China will never seek hegemony, expansion, or a sphere of influence. As countries in the region and around the world are now concerned about China's expanding hegemony, we hope this is the beginning of genuine change. At this critical time, when the entire world has grave concerns about Indo-Pacific and cross-strait developments, if Beijing can heed Taiwan's voice, change the way it handles cross-strait relations, and jointly facilitate cross-strait reconciliation and peaceful dialogue, I believe that regional tension can surely be resolved. In addressing cross-strait relations, we will not act rashly and will uphold our principles. Maintaining stability in cross-strait relations is in the best interests of both sides. We are committed to upholding cross-strait stability, but this is not something Taiwan can shoulder alone. It is the joint responsibility of both sides. At this stage, the most pressing cross-strait issue is to discuss how we can live in peace and coexist based on mutual respect, goodwill, and understanding. As long as the Beijing authorities are willing to resolve antagonisms and improve cross-strait relations while parity and dignity are maintained, we are willing to work together to facilitate meaningful dialogue. This is what the people of Taiwan advocate, and it is a cross-party consensus.
这段时间，我们可以明显的感受，
It is clear that public opinion in Taiwan about external relations and national security is now converging.
彼此的距离正在拉近。台湾人民都
The
希望
Taiwanese
注意
people all hope for regional peace and prosperity that are stable and
朝野
sustainable.
之间也是如此。
The same is true for the ruling and opposition parties. For example, an opposition party's recent resolutions to advance Taiwan-US relations were supported by both the ruling and opposition party caucuses and passed without objection. The mayors of our 6 special municipalities also came together in unanimous opposition when an international organization downgraded Taiwan's status and succeeded in getting that organization to correct the error. These are all examples of cross-party cooperation uniting our express point of view. Through these examples, I would like to appeal and invite all of our domestic political parties to join forces and work together. Domestically, we compete with one another and have opposing viewpoints. This is normal in a democracy. But for the nation's continued survival and development, and for the values of freedom and democracy, we should unify to address external issues, cooperating to lead the country to rise above adversity. Just like everything Taiwan has experienced over the past 71 years, hardship has forged our resilience, and challenges have inspired our resolve. This pandemic can consolidate a sense of unity among Taiwanese and give us the courage to continue moving forward.
我们守住疫情防线，
We have contained the spread of the virus, developed economic strategies, stabilized the region, and protected Taiwan's security.
为的是什么？
For what reason? Because we want to pass on a strong country to our next generation.
今年的金曲奖。
At this year's Golden Melody Awards, we witnessed the creativity and vitality of our dynamic younger generation. They used various musical styles, confidently singing in their native languages, which reflect their values on many different issues.
尤其是 Kina Kayan，
This was especially evident for the album Kinakayan, which was honored as Album of the Year. Kinakayan means mother tongue.
这些年轻的创作者，
Even though these young creatives have different styles,
但都能够在
they can all light up the stage with the finest interpretations of Taiwan's diverse cultures.
做出最好的诠释。
And this is all supported by our free and democratic society.
环境。我们现在打拼的一切，
All of our striving is for Taiwan's next generation,
世世代代的台
so
湾
that
人
they and the generations that follow can show their self-confidence through their creations. They can be proud of the culture and values of our homeland and courageously engage the world.
世界。在中华民国国庆的这一天，
On this National Day, let's all make a wish together.
愿20年后
Let's wish that 20 years from now, when Taiwanese look back on 2020, they will remember this as a year we grasped a generational opportunity, bravely forging ahead in rapidly changing times to overcome challenges and throw off our shackles, giving them a chance to determine their own
让
future.
他们有真正以自己的意志选择未来的机会。从现在起，
Starting today,
就让我们团结彼此，
let's all join together,
一步
keeping in step.
有路，咱就沿路唱歌。
If there's a path, let's follow it, singing along the way. If there's no path, let's ford the stream, scale the hill, and keep moving
中华民
toward the
国
light.
生日快乐！
Happy birthday, Republic of China. Thank you very much.
So that was President Taiwan giving a very positive speech. Today's theme is Proud of Taiwan.
Very optimistic.
Very
optimistic.
We have a lot to be proud of during, this very challenging time throughout the world. Taiwan was able to contain the pandemic very well and even help other countries by providing medical supplies and our experience. And she also, asked for peaceful talks and negotiations with the other
Yeah.
side of the strait, and also highlighted our economic plans for after the pandemic is over.
I think
So-
she did a great job in pointing out that this has been an unprecedented year for Taiwan. Not only that, but we're seeing more unity than ever.
That is true. We are actually coming together because we are proud of our country. And, during this difficult challenge of the pandemic, everybody cooperated, which is not that easy for every country to do, right?
Not just that, but maybe a few weeks ago, Tsai mentioned it in her speech that the opposition party came together and they passed a resolution unanimously, which is
that's very rare as well.
almost unheard of. Almost unheard of. I think that's the first time working in news that, in this presidential term that I've heard of anything passing unanimously.
That's true. So we see a lot of support from other countries like the United States and the international community of Taiwan at this time. So that's all been very positive for Taiwan. And so today is a great day to celebrate all that Taiwan has to be proud of. And, as we look on the screen, we see a lot of parades and the strength of our military and the vitality of our young people. We're going to be seeing a lot of great performances by young people.
So this is the closing ceremony, and the armed forces are leaving one by one. I believe starting here, the march is the ground forces, and then these in white, I believe, are the Navy, and the last will be the Air Force leaving. And then once the closing ceremony is over, that's when the parade starts. Right.
And we're going to see a lot of interesting performances by young people like magicians, martial arts teams, BMXers, a skateboarder, some very young inline skaters. So I love that it's very creative, and she highlighted the creativity of the Taiwan people in her speech at the very end.
That's a new thing.
Yeah, she usually doesn't mention the Golden Melody Awards. Yeah. But it was nice to hear her talk about the different diverse cultures in Taiwan that are represented through the arts.
You know what I think is really interesting is because the Gold Melody Awards this year, the big winner was Ah Bao, and she is an indigenous singer. And more than ever, we're seeing this. I was talking to Andrew about this. There's more than ever a renaissance of Taiwanese music and art, whereas they're embracing more and more Aboriginal culture. And Tsai herself, she has Aboriginal, Hakka, and Taiwanese heritage.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she encompasses.
Well, a lot of people in Taiwan have mixed heritage from different ethnic groups, and the song of the year was actually "Thank You." It was in different languages, and in English and Aborigine languages, and it was a thank you to all the medical workers. It was sung by Ah Bao.
Did you listen to that song?
Yeah, it's a great song. So it's a great album highlighting her mother tongue, actually. Yeah. So it's a great celebration of different cultures, indigenous cultures, and I'm glad that she highlighted that during the speech.
We have. I know I said we were gonna get. I know I said we were gonna share some of the responses we got on air, but there's just so many of them. Jen Dolari has been watching. Jason Stevens says this is amazing. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you very much, Jason.
Thank you.
Jen Dolari says, didn't notice the hats until now. Is there significance to that? The hats that the crowd is wearing. Now, those hats, they always have such interesting hats.
Yeah, I think because it's a sunny day, right? So
it's overcast, but they always
it's not
have
that sunny today.
Yeah, they always have the hats. And last year, I think they had little fisherman's hats, and I really wanted one of those.
I didn't notice that.
I don't really go fishing that often, but it's just a great souvenir, I think. Ratan Kumar Paul saying, watching your beautiful program, 109th National Day. Mahesh Jain says, I love the headline in the Indian newspaper. Taiwan. Let's see. Eugene Smith asks, do we get an advanced copy of Tsai's speech, or is this true simultaneous interpretation? He says he understands Mandarin, but he can't reproduce the times. That's a good question. Simultaneous.
You did a great job in the beginning, and it was totally simultaneous. Then we got the speech 20% of the way in?
About halfway, about 20% of the way in.
So the hats, she showed that actually they have given hats to the people over there.
Yeah.
So there's a package of hats, face masks. There's a nice little package for the visitors and participants in the parade and the observers.
Now, this is leading off the parade. There are 100 medical workers who have been helped, contain the pandemic, because that's exactly what you want to highlight in the year of 2020, right?
Definitely.
You want to just show off, especially with how well Taiwan's been doing. I'm surprised these guys are willing to be at the parade because of how dedicated some of the medical workers are in Taiwan.
Yeah, this is, I guess, a little break for them, right? So it's great to be able to honor them at the very start of the parade. They've been doing an incredible job. Taiwan has treated, and most people in Taiwan have recovered who have had the virus, and everyone has been able to be treated in isolation wards at the hospital, so they're receiving top-notch treatment.
So you see these giant trucks in the front here. They're just saying that's the pandemic heroes. That's what those trucks are labeled with. I don't think we mentioned this before, but Legislative Speaker Yoshi Kun, which is to the left of Tsai Ing-wen right now, he's head of the National Day Preparatory Committee, and I think in years past, Taiwan always has a yearly preparatory committee. Legislative Speaker is generally the head of it. Mm-hmm. And those are the hats we were talking about right now.
They also have special face masks in the colors of, the National Day, which is really cool.
And I did a special on the colors of National Day.
Yeah, which color do you like the best?
They chose. Symbolically, I'm always more of a purple person. Purple's a regal color.
And what does it represent?
It represents stability and I believe
nobility. I think nobility.
Stability and nobility.
Yes.
There you go. And I would like to get my hands on one of those nice face masks.
I would. They're beautiful. Just like our brochure here has all the colors that are from this National Day celebration. And there's also going to be fireworks tonight in Tainan, over 27,000 fireworks.
Originally, it was 16,000.
And they added 10,000.
Just yesterday out of nowhere, they're just like, boom, have 10,000 more fireworks.
So that should be really incredible.
And it's the 16,000 fireworks show was supposed to last 33 minutes. And when they added the 10,000, they were just like, so is that going to extend the time? They're just like, no. We're going to set off 10,000 more in the same time frame.
That's pretty exciting.
So I think it's Tainan City is about to light up.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And if you're in Taipei, you can check out the Taipei 101. There's some messages written by people, actually. They've chosen slogans about why people are proud of Taiwan, and that'll be lit up tonight. Also, there's a light show at the presidential office. It's been going on all week, so from 7 to 9. And now we start the performances. We got some great dancers here. I love to watch the dances and the colorful costumes and Taiwan puppetry.
Traditional Taiwanese puppetry.
Oh, that's so cute.
So that was one of the highlights of this year. They wanted to bring together the new and old talents. So when they first had the preparatory committee had their press conference, they were talking about they first had BMX bikes and they had glove puppetry. And they're just like, we're bringing together the old and the new.
Yeah, that's great. That really reflects Taiwan. We have a lot of traditional culture here, but also a lot of young, innovative people and all kinds of cultures and all kinds of creativity. So it's a great place to be at this time. And we can notice, all our cultures here at the National Day Parade.
And the language they're speaking right now, actually Taiwan is home to many, many languages. They're speaking in traditional Minnan, which is Taiwanese. Yeah. The speeches that Tsai and Yoshi Kun gave were all in Mandarin Chinese, and I believe, like we said, we talked about there's Aboriginal songs coming out now.
Hakka
One language
songs.
we haven't talked about is Hakka.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you speak Hakka?
I am not. I'm half Hakka on my father's side, but I do not speak a lick of Hakka.
Okay, so you can learn that. Still time to learn.
Still time to learn. I'm still working on my Taiwanese, though. I think I'm still trying.
So we've really enjoyed covering the National Day celebrations. And if you've been with us, please do leave a comment on our Facebook page or write us at rti@rti.org.tw. We would love to hear from you. And we're going to be signing off soon. It's almost 11 o'clock. But thank you for joining us for the National Day celebrations.
If you enjoyed what we did, you guys, we are broadcasting on 2 different Facebook pages. One is the Radio Taiwan International Facebook page. The other is the Taiwan Insider. Go ahead and give both a like and subscribe and follow us. We produce a lot of news and news features on the Radio Taiwan International Facebook page. Taiwan Insider is the flagship show of Radio Taiwan International. We bring you a weekly wrap-up and is a weekly magazine of news in Taiwan on Taiwan Insider. That comes out every Thursday. In the past 2 weeks, they've come out every Wednesday. And it's produced and hosted and written by Natalie, I, and Andrew.
Yes, so do join us every week for Taiwan Insider and join us every day on Radio Taiwan International. Thank you for tuning in for Radio Taiwan International. I'm Natalie So.
I'm Leslie Liao. We hope to see you not just next year, but also on on Taiwan Insider.
Bye.